Hi, my name is William O'Keefe, and this is the second episode of The Spotlight. I met Carrie on a student film set directed by Shelby O'Boyle. This was in December about 2 years ago. Carrie is an actress who has done a variety of performances. When she was younger, she was in plays. Now she does modeling, she has parts in television shows, she has an IMBD, she's been in some short films, and some of her short films have been into like major film festivals. I know Carrie is a splendid actress who has big ambitions and the determination to follow through with them. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Carrie, the actress.
So how did you get started? Like, was there like a single moment, or did you always know acting was it?
So if there's a short answer and a long answer here. So the short answer is I always knew when I was a little girl that all I ever wanted to do was act and be an actress and watching movies, watching television. I mean, all different types of shows and movies. Like I would watch Lucille Ball and I fell in love with her and everything she would do. And it was so funny to me. And at a young age, I liked horror films and I thought that was super exciting. And I was just drawn to all types of film and television. And when everyone else would say or be asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And friends of mine would say a fireman or a teacher.
Yeah.
Mine was like an actress. And at the time, I really believed it. And I went on through middle school, being in every school play I could be in. And I even went to theater camp at Stage Door Manor, which is a somewhat well-known camp at the time. And I think they still are pretty well-known today up in the Catskills in New York. And so that was my plan. And then when I was a freshman in high school, I was in the school play and my parents sat me down and said, listen, being an actress is very difficult and it may not be lucrative. It may not be the path you want to take. And they kind of shut it down. And I don't know if they meant it as literally as I felt it, but I shut it down. So I was 14 years old and that was the last time I did any acting until my 40s when I started taking acting classes because I had to fill a void in my life. I got divorced. I didn't have my kids every night. It was devastating. And I decided to fill it with something that I really had such passion for. I never thought I'd be pursuing an acting career at the time, but I did break down in tears after my first acting class. I was so happy. Like it felt like home. It was like nothing like it in the world. So that's how it went down for me. I was a child, I knew, and then I put it on the back burner for 30 years or more and then
Wow.
circled back to it. And I always tell people it doesn't have to be acting. It can be any art form, any passion that you want to pursue. It's never too late.
Yeah, you're the proof. You're the living proof of that. Did you want to do more plays or more like films and movies?
I just knew you were going to go there. It's a
Yeah.
double-edged sword because when I was a kid, of course, I wasn't not of course, but I wasn't a television actor or a movie actor. And it was only stage. I loved it. I thought I was a very good singer. I wasn't. I would try out for all the musicals and I couldn't understand why this other student named Wendy got the lead all the time. Well, her voice was beautiful and I was not really a trained singer and I still loved it. Didn't even care. I loved being on stage. So now as an older person acting, I still would love to be on stage. I haven't had the opportunity to yet with COVID. I have only auditioned for one or two things and they were done virtually for theater in the city. I see more opportunities coming my way. I did get a request to audition for something recently. So that would be amazing to be on stage. In the meantime, on-camera acting completely fills my need for acting, meaning it could be on stage, it could be on camera. right now, all of my experience has been on camera, whether it's film or television, and I absolutely love it. And yeah, so does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, because I mean, I'm not an actor at all, but I remember in middle school, I was in the play Oklahoma
Oh
for
yeah,
high school. So like I was in middle school, um, doing this thing for high school. I just had a little dance routine and that was it. You know, it was just
that's
some
amazing. I never ever booked anything like that in high school. Like, no
um,
dancing, no singing.
but I bring that up because like when you're on a stage with like a live performance, it's like it's just very different because like the tension is up. But then when
Right.
you're on a movie set, it's a lot more like you have time to like go over the lines and
Perfect point. So because of that, and I don't want to anticipate what my experience will be on stage eventually, because the way I view this path I'm on is that anything's still possible. So I'm going to continue auditioning, and at some point I'll be on stage. So I'll be feeling all the things you're describing, how different it is, the live audience, the forgetting of lines in front of a live audience, the partner of yours on stage forgetting lines, someone tripping, all these crazy things that can happen. But in the meantime, that is what you described there, the breaks and the repeat, for me personally is amazing. I love getting micro direction from directors. I love it so much because it just stretches me. And if I can deliver what they want, the feeling that you get to be able to do that is like, it's indescribable. So I would be on set for 8 hours in a day doing one scene and having someone give me feedback on what they want me to do, because I just love it so much. And as you're going through it as an actor, you're finding out other things about the character, about if you have other people in the scene, about those characters, and you discover so much as you go. I really love that part of it. I love the repetition and the breaks and the opportunity to give what the person's asking for, the director.
right. I think it's cool when like you see BTS and you know those like a C stand, a flag, and then like you have all the lights, and
Yeah,
it's almost like only like it's all right, it's like if you have like a dirty dish and you only clean like one little corner, that clean corner is like what's being filmed. And then everything else, yeah.
it's amazing. If you back up about 10 years, I started in this business through my children. My daughter was a model when she was a baby and into her toddler years. My son started modeling, and then he became an actor. So I was on set for his acting and on set for her modeling. I saw and I learned so much during those years. And that was something that I was blown away with from the beginning, how the picture we get is this big.
Yeah.
And then what happens is everything around, like you can't see my messy bedroom right now with the laundry baskets and my dog sitting on the bed. And, it's magical, like how all these components go into the one moment. And even lighting to me is like a whole new world.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people create the lighting for that scene, how they envision it. It's amazing to me. I'm always so thankful when I'm on set that all these decisions have been made. All I have to do is show up and give my part to the scene and to everyone there that's wanting the actor to deliver whatever it is. And it doesn't go unnoticed. I don't know about everybody else. Even when I stay in character, because sometimes I do just stay in character, I am so aware of all these components that go into the scene. I'm always blown away by that.
Would you want to pursue a different part of not just film, but like all right, so like other than acting, would you want to be like a writer or director or something else?
So I could probably at this point say I'd be really happy as a working actor for the next several years, because there's so many different things that you can pursue in acting. That being said, once in a while, a story will pop into my head. Like a couple months ago, I had this idea for a film short, but it's not something I have a passion enough to pursue it at this moment in time. My passion for acting trumps everything else right now in this business. So not currently, to answer your question, not currently, but I do see where it would be super exciting at some point to be a director. Like I watch when we're not like actively filming, I observe what all the different roles are on set, and it's all of them, each one of them brings so much. I mean, you can't have like one person just not part of the package, because then it doesn't happen. So I do see how interesting it would be to learn all parts of making a movie or a TV show or a commercial or anything like that. So I could see where writing would be very interesting to me, especially, and possibly directing.
So is directing like number two? Or
I would say
okay,
I would choose writing first, because I just have ideas that just pop in my head.
yeah.
And I think maybe it's my old age, or maybe it's, I don't know what it is, but like I have ideas sometimes. And I understand on a very small level how someone's inspired to put those words on paper and bring a story to life. Like I can see why. I don't know how to get from A to B to actually write a screenplay, but it's something in the future I can see myself starting off, taking a class or two, learning how to do that myself.
Yeah, I definitely encourage you to write. So in high school, when I was in love with film, I didn't have actors or anyone, at all. So I would set up the camera, run around, and say the lines, and
That's
then
amazing.
yeah, and then I had to learn how to edit too, because like I said, I don't have anyone, so I had to learn how to direct, act, edit, and then I wrote the stuff. That's why I encourage you to write.
I
Just
appreciate that. You mentioned editing. I didn't mention that before. Editing to me, I don't want to discount any part of filmmaking,
mhm.
but as I've gone down this path, I have to say that editing, I feel, is like the most important thing. It's not that
Yeah.
it's not that all the other parts aren't super important. All of it is. But if you have editing that's bad and you have this raw footage that's excellent, the end result can look just terrible. And I'm so aware of it now when I'm watching things on TV or movies, whatever, like online, whatever I'm watching. When you see bad editing, it really ruins it.
It's noticeable. Yeah.
It's only like editing is this thankless job that it's only noticeable if it's not good. Otherwise, it's almost like editors are expected to be perfect, because when it's perfect, nobody notices that it's off. The most props to editors. And maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe this gets leaked one day when I'm famous, and then I'm not giving the director credit, but I think editors are tops.
No, I mean the sound design, color correcting, just making the image look nicer, and then the timing of when to cut. Like, do I cut to
Amazing.
like a wide? Do I cut to a close up? It's all in the head, and like they have to know exactly what to do.
Right. And isn't it like the running joke, oh, we'll fix it in post? And isn't that
Yeah.
the worst thing anybody can actually really say?
Yeah, that it really is. You're like,
It's
oh, I'll
just,
just fix it later. I want to ask, what is like your preferred like genre? Like if like you said you like horror and like scary movies. Is that what you prefer?
so most of what I've done so far is drama and some comedy. And I also was in a documentary where it was a recreation, well, a couple of them, a documentary film, and then also these crime recreations on Discovery Network. So those are not funny. When I've been on these sets, so let's start with the film sets where there's been some diversity there, from drama to documentary, which is real life, to a comedy. There's a common thread here. So there are genres of films when you're on set and you have those lines and you're interacting with another person or you're alone, there's still drama there. So it's hard for me to be like, well, I like drama. Well, there's drama in horror films. There's a lot
Everything.
of drama. there's drama in comedy. There's a lot of drama in comedy. And so, and even romantic themes, there's always drama. So I have to say that although I haven't had the chance to do it much, I would love to do more comedy, but most of what I've done so far is drama. And I love it. I mean, I'm very happy in that genre, but it's hard to narrow down because when it comes down to it, you're still going after an objective as an actor. If I'm a murderer of someone, my objective is to kill them in the film, right? If I'm a mother trying to care for my child, my objective is to make them feel better. So it's hard to say during the process of giving everything you can for that character. It's hard to say what genre would be my like number one, but I do have to say, I think comedy would be, I would love to do more comedy.
Okay.
Ever since I'm a little kid, like I can get to the drama. I've had a lot of things in my life go on, so I can pull on a lot of stuff for drama. But I also think that there's something in me that wants to make people laugh. And my whole life, I've done that in my personal life. And I think I could bring it to the screen, to the small screen or the big screen. I think it would be something that I would really love to do.
That's really cool. Comedy, it's the best. Well, laughter is the best medicine, but laughter
Right.
comes from comedy.
And it's probably the least genre that I watch. As a viewer, I am very dark. I watch everything that's like murders and true crime and everything. All of those Netflix shows, everything. So it's not that I watch a lot of comedy, but that would be great to be an actor in a comedy.
Where do you want to go in the future? Like, what's your dream position?
That is interesting. So I was thinking about my process of where I'm going, because that's a different answer. But where do I want to be? Like, where, like in 20 years, or like the week before I die, or like where am I looking at next year? How far down the road are we talking?
5 years.
Oh, 5 years. Right, 5 years. Yeah, I will be a working actor, not having to work any other jobs, and definitely be on, I don't want to say I'll be SAG by then, because I don't know if union's the place to be or not, but I'll definitely be on shows that will be viewed by many more people than are watching the shows I've been on now.
Okay. So, all right, no time, just your dream. What would it be? Like, would you want to be on like a sitcom for 20 years, or just like in only like Hollywood movies or dramas? Like, what would you prefer?
I mean, if I had to pick one way to go, I mean, I would definitely prefer to do a variety of things, films, miniseries. I know the security in being on a sitcom or being on a show that is on for 2 decades. I have a friend that was on Guiding Light for 19 years and he loved it, and he retired when the show ended, and that was like 13 years ago. But I mean, like, that was a wonderful life and he loved it, and I'm sure I would love it. But if I could pick anything, absolutely it would be to be able to be on a TV show as a couple episodes of this show, and then film this movie and do a variety of things, because each time you're on set, you have the butterflies, but you're learning more and you're trying something new and you're drawing on all your other past experiences. And you're doing that, I would imagine, on a sitcom too, but it's more familiar. And I would kind of rather my next 20 or 30 years be not secure. I'd rather feel tension and uncertainty, because that's how I thrive.
No, there is like a good anxiety, like good
Yes.
stress that like makes you like like excitement you get, like eagerness.
Yes.
That's like all right. Well, I think that's really cool. I feel like if I asked like anyone else, they would say oh, I just want to do one thing and have that locked in for the rest of my life. But you want to do the rainbow, you want to do the spectrum,
I
and that's
would
cool.
love it. I would love it to be, put me on a show on Broadway or off Broadway, a play, no singing. Put me in a Netflix miniseries for a couple episodes or a movie. Here's the thing too. At my age, like I'm not scared of anything anymore because I've lived a long time. You're young, and I think also when people that are younger, that might be, the security might feel good because you're still transitioning from like being in college to figuring it all out. This world is so upside down and crazy compared to when I was your age. I can't imagine coming out of college right now and going through what your generation is going through because it's serious. So because I'm older and I don't have as much to lose, I view it as I have everything to gain. So if I was in a different phase of my life, I would be picking that. I would pick the sitcom for 20 years or whatever, but I'm in a different phase in life. So that's probably why.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
You said you have a process.
Well, I've never revealed my process to anyone. So is it really going to come out today?
I mean, that's on you. I would love to hear it, but you know, if you don't
Okay.
want to tell me.
So here's my process.
Okay.
I came up with this process myself, and I thought it's somewhat scientific. The baseline of my process is not everybody is Leonardo DiCaprio and doesn't take acting classes and just becomes a movie star. So I'm going to start by saying my process would be, why don't I tell you this like I'm explaining to you if you're going to go after what my process is, what I'm doing. Okay. Take acting classes, take as many as you can afford, take them all the way to the end, continue taking classes if you can, take improv, take formal acting classes and improv classes. You need both. They're both incredibly important. And then after you finish those classes, continue to try to take more classes as you can. I've tried to fit some in between. It's been difficult, but I will never stop trying to fit these classes in because I have so much to learn still. And you can learn from other actors and other teachers, and you always will learn something. So that's first and foremost. So what I decided to do is I observed people around me. I observed the industry. I looked back at what my own children did, and I realized there's an approach here, and it's scientific. When there's an audition for something, there's a call. It could be 1,000 people that are sending in their headshots. It could be just a request call where only 10 agents are sending two actors. So, but it's all numbers and it's not infinite, okay? There's a finite number of people up for every role. Okay, so what does that mean? It's like a much easier to win lottery. So when you have a finite number, somebody has to get the job. Why not you? So because it's a numbers game, you submit for anything and everything in the beginning that you can fit that breakdown for, and you sign up for all the casting sites you can afford. So that was the first thing. Sign up for all the casting sites, put together a resume, even if you have no experience at all, you have all those acting classes, and people care about that. They want to know where you've trained. Put down where you went to college, if you went to college. Put down something else interesting about yourself. Put it on paper. That's your resume. Take headshots. I still haven't even had professional headshots made. And everything happens so fast. Mine is from my iPhone with this backdrop. And I was like reaching out to photographers last year, trying to get new headshots, and then I got busy. So I didn't do that. But have a clear photo of how you look. That was also a breakthrough moment. Nobody has to look like a supermodel. People can be old. I'm old. I have some wrinkles on my face. I'm not stick thin. You can be any weight, any height, any age, bald. You can have a woman with hair on her face, even, like anything's possible. You just have to be you and look like yourself in the picture. So acting classes, casting sites, clear photos of yourself, constantly submitting. Then it comes into play. You have to have social media. Maybe not the famous people, but if you're starting out, it's the way to go. I started out with 0 followers. I asked my family to please follow me. I then went to my personal page and told people I have this page. Do you want anyone who wants to follow me? And I would follow anybody I could on all these, anytime I was networking in classes, in acting classes, when I meet people on the street, anytime I just tell people I'm an actor. I stopped way in the beginning saying I'm pursuing a career. A friend of mine who's an actor said, do not say that because you're an actor. So just tell people you're an actor. I'm like, got it. So that was like tidbits of information. So you tell people you're an actor, you tell everybody you're an actor. And you know what? Your brain starts to believe you're an actor because of all these things you start to do. And the beauty of it is with these casting sites, you can audition for things sometimes without being asked. So you start practicing these auditions, submit self-tapes. You may never hear back. I can't tell you how many self-tapes I've sent in, have heard nothing back. It doesn't matter because I'm acting. I'm filming with this backdrop. I spent $140 on the lights that are right here. This was like $100 or less, maybe it was $50. Get a backdrop, get lighting, and you just put one foot in front of the other. And then I set these mini goals for myself. Like this month is the first time I didn't make it because I'm going to say the excuse I was sick for the past 3 weeks, but I said I will have a job every month from when I started, which was last year or the year before. I needed to have one job a month. Actually, no, I'm in the middle of a modeling thing right now, but it's not acting. One job a month is what my goal was. And I have these goals of having followers on Instagram. And I do what I can to meet all these goals all the time. And it's not just sitting back waiting for it to happen. It's every day submitting for auditions, every day networking with people. You can even reach out to people on Instagram, ask them a question. I have a friend, Roberto. We're constantly going back and forth. He sends me scripts. We bounce ideas off each other. You know, it's just, you have to just decide you're an actor and then just completely commit to it and figure out all these ways because it's a numbers game. Someone has to book the job. It can be you. You don't have to have 10 years experience. The director and casting people, for the most part, they want someone who's right for the job. Doesn't have to be a huge resume. So be right for the job, you know, put your best foot forward and tell them you're the best person for it. You can't wait to audition. I mean, just, that's it. So that's my scientific approach, is that it's a numbers game. And if you someone told me one time it's 100 auditions for 10 callbacks in one job. So it might be 200 auditions because who knows, but just keep going because eventually you will book something.
I wrote down a very more general and vague plan, but this was what my plan was, to like start like making videos and stuff.
Oh, so I want to hear this. This is great.
It's only 4 things.
Okay.
Save up a ton of money, then create content. Just I put this thing out on my Instagram. I call it like a contract for myself, and it says, I hereby declare William O'Keefe will post at least one thing every single week. And whether that's like anything, as long as I'm creating content consistently. And then that money that I saved up, spend it on career. So I bought a camera.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah, I got a green screen. I bought lights. I cleaned out my garage, and I even painted the walls white so it looks really nice.
That's amazing.
I spend money on getting electricity inside the garage, and then while I'm still creating content and spending money on it, I'm trying to get like a network. I'm just meeting people, just talk to people, you know, like, because what I found is like let's say I meet someone today who is like a rapper and wants a music video, and I say like, oh, I can do them. And they say, okay, let me see some of your work. If you don't have any work to show, like anything before, then you have like no credibility. And that's kind of like what you were saying, how take as many acting lessons as possible. Because then when you put that on your resume, it shows, you know, it says like, oh, you're serious.
Right. 100%.
And I'm still in the process of the last step, but after you've done all that, you should be making money.
I'm still working on the making money part. No,
Yeah.
that's the other shift I made though. Last year I would take jobs at no pay, and I don't do that anymore because I can't afford to, but based on principle, I don't think that actors or crew should work for free. I don't think credit's enough. I can't do it anymore. I only do it for Shelby. I would do it for you, but I can't do it for the general public. It's like the cost of life is too much. Gas and taking a day off out of my regular day. Like I remember I talked to someone about this. I auditioned for a lead in their film. They requested me. The audition was excellent, by the way. It was very sad. It was someone who was dying of cancer. And I had really positive feedback. And then they came back and they said, we're going in a different direction. I'm sorry. I'm like, no problem. Because that's all acting is rejection for the most part. And then once in a while you book. My next step is going to be, as soon as a couple things come out, hopefully this year, maybe next year, but I'm going to get an agent, and then I don't have to do the grind anymore, because it's a grind. It's just so hard. And so, yeah, to your point, take jobs after you build your resume, take jobs that you get paid. But it makes sense if it's your first one. Like, let's say you're doing a music video, you haven't done one, and you're like, listen, I could put together this scene. Let me show you my work, what I could do. Well, that makes perfect business sense. You're investing in yourself because you'll have something to show for it. But after that, you can't work for free, you know?
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with student film sets because I am blown away by what you guys know. I'm blown away.
Yeah.
I cannot believe the professionalism, the knowledge of setting the scene up, everything. It's amazing. When I see that, and then I'm on other sets, they're professional sets, there's no difference. It's incredible.
Is there anything you want to say or ask or just anything?
I mean, for you, what's your next step? Like, what's the next 2 years look like for you?
The next 2 years? Well, first, let me just say, I love music. I love hip hop. So that's kind of why I got into music videos. But that's not where I mean, maybe in 2 years, I would like to get frequently paid for them. But my end goal is like big time director in Hollywood.
I guess the last thing that I want to say is my first TV speaking part, which is all of probably 2 minutes in one scene, is coming up on Evil Lives Here. And I don't have a date because I thought it was going to air last weekend, but they haven't aired it yet. And that's super exciting for me to have a TV speaking part as an actor. And then secondly, my biggest project I've worked on so far, which I thought would be released this year, but it might be next year, is a documentary called The Walk On. And I play someone, we could talk about this another time, but she's alive still today. And I had very little time to prepare to be this real life person. Her name is Dottie Herman, and she's the wealthiest self-made multimillionaire, female millionaire in real estate. She's worth $250 million. Wow. She has 2.5 times what Barbara Corcoran has from Shark Tank. So she's amazing. And I've never met her. We haven't had the premiere or anything, but it's a pretty big deal, this documentary. There's like college basketball coaches and NBA players, and it's that were interviewed for this documentary. And then they do recreation scenes. It's going to be awesome. So it's called The Walk On. And it'll be on my Instagram when eventually it does get released. So that's my plug for my 2 up and coming things that are happening.
I'll be the first to watch it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't know where they're gonna put in the film festival circuit. So I'm thinking it may not show up general public till 23, because I think it's gonna be kind of a big deal. Like they might be looking at some of the big film festivals like Tribeca and stuff. Fingers crossed. So we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be like a big deal. So
that's really cool.
I know. So I'm super excited about it. So yeah, yes. I really enjoyed talking with you though. I feel like I learned about you, and you made it so easy.
Well, so did you. It was really enjoyable.
Okay. Oh, good. Well, anytime, you ever want to chat again, let me know. But also, more importantly, feel free to network with me anytime. If you are looking for talent, I know people if you're looking for suggestions or feedback, just feel free to reach out to me. You can email me, Instagram, whatever, call me,
And
whatever.
same, vice versa. I mean, I don't, I think you have a bigger network than I do, but I'm always
I
willing.
don't know. I put it out there that I do. So you never know.
Yeah.
For real. It's all about just one foot in front of the other, you know?